No one cares about you, not the way you think, not as much as you hope. And that hurts, because deep down, you want to matter. You want to be seen, respected, recognized. You want people to notice your effort, your struggle, your progress. But they don't. And the more you chase that recognition, the more invisible you feel. Here's the brutal truth. You are not important. Read that again. You're not important. And strangely, that is your greatest advantage. Most people spend their entire lives trying to prove their importance. They chase approval, validation, attention. They want to be liked, praised, respected, and because of that, they lose themselves. They don't speak honestly. They don't act freely. They don't take risks. Why? Because they are afraid of what people will think. They are controlled by opinions. But here's the reality. People are too busy thinking about themselves. They are worried about their own problems, their own image, their own fears. They are not thinking about you as much as you imagine. Not even close. This is not an insult. This is freedom. Because the moment you accept that you are not the center of everyone's world, you stop performing, you stop pretending, you stop living for approval, and you start living for yourself. Marcus Aurelius once reflected, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others." He understood something most people don't. Your time is limited, and yet you spend it worrying about opinions that don't matter. Think about how much energy you waste trying to control how others see you. You adjust your behavior, your words, your identity, just to fit expectations, just to avoid judgment. But no matter what you do, someone will misunderstand you, someone will dislike you, someone will judge you. You cannot escape that. So why are you trying? Why are you sacrificing your freedom for something you can't control? That's the trap. The illusion of importance. You think, if people respect me, I will feel secure. No, you will feel dependent, because now your peace depends on something outside you. And the moment that respect disappears, so does your confidence. That's not strength, that's weakness. Real power is different. Real power is this: being okay with not being noticed, being okay with not being praised, being okay with not being understood, because now you are free. Free to act, free to speak, free to build your life without permission. This is where most people fail. They want freedom, but they also want approval. You can't have both. If you need validation, you will always be controlled. If you let go of it, you become dangerous. Because now you are not predictable. You don't follow the crowd. You don't seek permission. You don't wait for recognition. You act because you decided to act. That's power. Now let's go deeper. Imagine this. You post something online. No likes, no comments. What do you feel? Disappointment? Doubt? Why? Because you expected attention. You tied your effort to external validation. That's the mistake. A Stoic does not do that. He focuses on the action, not the reaction. He creates without needing applause, because the act itself is enough. That's mastery. Now think about respect. You want people to respect you, but what does that really mean? Approval, recognition, status, all external, all unstable. Real respect comes from yourself, from your standards, your discipline, your consistency, not from opinions, because opinions change. One day they praise you, next day they criticize you. If you depend on that, you will never be stable. But if your respect comes from within, nothing can shake you. That is Stoic strength. Now understand this. You don't need to be important to be powerful. In fact, the less you need importance, the more power you gain. Because now you are not acting to impress. You are acting to improve. You are not speaking to be liked. You are speaking to be honest. You are not building for attention. You are building for purpose. That shift changes everything. And suddenly, you stop wasting time. You stop chasing approval. You stop overthinking every move. And you start moving fast, clear, focused, because nothing is holding you back. No expectations, no pressure to perform, only action, only progress. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of your life is controlled by other people's opinions? Be real, the way you dress, the way you speak, the things you avoid. How much of it is actually you, and how much of it is performance? Because that performance is costing you your life, your time, your energy, your potential. And for what? For people who are not even thinking about you? That's the irony. You are sacrificing your freedom for an audience that doesn't exist. So stop. Stop trying to be important. Stop trying to be seen. Stop trying to be validated. And start doing the only thing that actually matters. Building yourself quietly, consistently, relentlessly, without needing recognition. Because when you do that, something changes. You become calm, not because life is easy, but because you are not dependent. You become confident, not because people praise you, but because you trust yourself. You become powerful, not because others see it, but because you don't need them to. That is real freedom. So here's your test. Next time you hesitate because of what people might think, remember this. They are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. And that means you are free. Free to act. Free to fail. Free to grow. Without judgment controlling you. Most people will never understand this. They will keep chasing importance. And they will stay trapped. But you don't. Because now you see the truth. You are not important. And that is your power. So use it. Start today. Act without needing approval. Speak without fear. Build without validation. And watch what happens when nothing can control you anymore. That's when your life begins.